This week at NASA. The crew of STS-131 returned home to Houston following their 15 days in space aboard Shuttle Discovery.
Nice landing. Well done.
A crowd of several hundred well-wishers greeted the 7 astronauts at Ellington Field after their flight from the Kennedy Space Center one day after their safe landing.
It's a very special day, and we're very happy to be back in Houston, and we were very happy to be back in Florida yesterday.
The Discovery crew spent 10 days in orbit docked to the International Space Station. They delivered science racks, new crew sleeping quarters, and several additional tons of equipment and supplies. During 3 spacewalks, the crew installed a new ammonia storage tank for the station's cooling system, replaced a gyroscope for the station's navigation system, and retrieved a Japanese experiment from outside the Kibo laboratory for examination on Earth. Joining Commander Alan Poindexter on the flight was pilot Jim Dutton and mission specialists Rick Mastracchio, Dottie Metcalf-Lindenberger, Stephanie Wilson, Clay Anderson, and Japan Aerospace Exploration Agency astronaut Naoko Yamazaki. The first images are in from NASA's Solar Dynamics Observatory, or SDO. And scientists who study the sun say they are a stunning treasure trove of data about Earth's star.
The first images are now in hand, and these are truly spectacular, and they show the details of our sun that have not been available to us before in a comprehensive and a multi-dimensional manner.
Ignition and liftoff of the Atlas V with the Solar Dynamics Observatory.
Launched on February 11, 2010, SDO is the most advanced spacecraft ever designed to study the sun. SDO's images confirm an unprecedented new capability for heliophysicists to better understand our sun's dynamic processes and how and why these solar activities affect everything on Earth.
SDO is the first mission in the Living with a Star program. It's designed to study the sun and how the sun affects us here on the Earth. Most of these effects come from the magnetic field of the sun, and we're going to see today that that magnetic field is never the same twice. It's always changing.
During its 5-year mission, SDO will provide images with clarity 10 times better than high-definition television and will return more comprehensive science data faster than any other solar-observing spacecraft. NASA helped celebrate Earth Day's 40th anniversary with 9 consecutive days of activities and public exhibits on the National Mall in Washington. The NASA Village of 3 domed tents highlighted how NASA science and technology has helped advance knowledge and awareness about our home planet with exhibits and hands-on demonstrations of environmental technologies developed by NASA and multimedia presentations by NASA scientists and others. Robonaught 2, or R2 as it or he is also known, is scheduled to become the first human-like robot to take up permanent residence on the International Space Station. The 300-pound robot consists of a head, a torso, and 2 arms and legs. Developed under a cooperative agreement by NASA and General Motors, R2 was designed to assist and work alongside humans, whether in space or at manufacturing plants on Earth. R2 will head into space later this year aboard Space Shuttle Discovery. Once aboard the ISS, R2 will be confined to operations in the station's Destiny laboratory. However, future enhancements and modifications may allow it to move more freely around the station's interior, or even outside the complex. Discovery's launch on STS-133 is targeted for September 16. Hundreds of students from middle schools, high schools, and colleges representing 20 states were in northern Alabama for the annual Space Launch Initiative, or Launch Fest. Each year, NASA challenges young, aspiring Rocketeers from around the country to design and build these launch vehicles, complete with a working science payload, then send them aloft here at Launch Fest to an altitude of 1 mile. Launch Fest is meant to inspire students to combine engineering practices with high-flying creativity and pursue long-term goals as professionals in the STEM fields of science, technology, engineering, and math. Launch Fest is organized by the Marshall Space Flight Center and sponsored by ATK Aerospace Systems. The STS-130 crew paid a visit to NASA headquarters, where they played highlights of their February mission to the International Space Station for employees and guests. The 6-astronaut crew of Space Shuttle Endeavour was commanded by George Zamka, Terry Virts was its pilot. Mission specialists were Nicholas Patrick, Bob Benkin, Steve Robinson, and Kay Heyer. Among a number of other D.C. area events, the STS-130 crew members talked about their mission with local students at the Smithsonian's National Air and Space Museum.
3, 2, 1, and liftoff of the Space Shuttle Discovery with the Hubble Space Telescope, our window on the universe.
On April 24, 1990, the Hubble Space Telescope launched aboard Space Shuttle Discovery from the Kennedy Space Center in Florida. Since then, the observatory orbiting 350 miles above Earth has produced hundreds of thousands of unprecedented images of different corners of the universe.
Not many humans get to work on things that 100 years from now, history will remember. Hubble is certainly one of them.
Named after the American astronomer Edwin Hubble, the telescope's gaze has helped determine the age of the universe, the identity of quasars, and the existence of dark energy. Hubble is one of NASA's most successful and long-lasting science missions, shedding light on many of the great mysteries of astronomy. And that's This Week at NASA. For more on these and other stories, log on to www.nasa.gov.